important for Zimbabweans to embrace and to think deeply about voting for a president in parliament, because I think that is the best foot forward, especially for a young democracy like Zimbabwe. So as Labour economists and African Democrats, we are in support for voting for the president in parliament. We are also supporting the term extension to 7 years, because from our perspective, we need more years. We need more years to focus on development, on growth, on nation building, on reconciliation.
All right, so Mbeki drops a bombshell on social media. He doesn't agree with any term extensions in the region. It's very clear that the message is being sent to Emmerson Mnangagwa. Now the question on the floor is that, will Chiwenga save Zimbabwe like what Mandela did? I also want you to know that there are mixed reactions after Linda Masarira dies. Stick around, guys. We're going to chat about the most important thing. Let's also look at what the military thinks about the kind of leadership that Chiwenga will bring to the Zimbabwean people. There's a lot. I want to hear what you guys think in the comment section, because do you think Chiwenga will be actually the Mandela of our time? Does he even have the capacity? Also, Mr. Chiwenga, golden opportunity for you to shine. Take it. If I were in your shoes, oh my God. Listen, I'm big on legacy. So, I wish this opportunity has been thrown at me and said, girl, you know, what can you do? I would turn Zimbabwe for the best. Right? All right. So you heard Linda weighing into the issue of Cap 3. That's one of the videos that is circulating, and people are saying all types of comments. It's actually very interesting. Guys, Linda was a mom. She had family. She also had lovers. People just love her and friends. They deserve some respect. So as far as you may react anyway, because I'm going to look at two reactions that stood for me. We must also remember that there's a need for us to extend grace any day. They always said, Wafawanaka, right? There are reasons why our parents did so. We must always send people's dignity and respect. No one is perfect. We all have fallen short to see the glory of God. Anyway, may soul rest in peace. But Emmerson Mnangagwa is being dragged into this Linda Masarira thing. Again, there's been a lot of speculations or rumors that people are being killed with poison within the structures of ZANU-PF. So let me read what Comrade Knox Chivero. He said to the young people of Zimbabwe, Mnangagwa and his cabal have a long history of using desperate youth for political dirty tricks. Once you have served your purpose and know their dark secrets, you become a liability, not an asset. In their system, loose lips or even silent witnesses don't walk free. You will be eliminated. Even those in CIO, they know this. It's a satanic cult of power when knowing too much truth is a death sentence. Don't be their pawn. Your life matters more than their temporary handouts. Choose wisdom over manipulation. Rest in peace, Linda. And then he tagged the pictures of Linda when she was on holiday, and she sent some pictures. We all know that there's been speculation that she was working for Emmerson Mnangagwa, just masquerading as opposition. I think there's quite a number of people like that. But here's the thing. Some Zimbabweans in politics, though, I must reiterate, I'm sorry about innocent Zimbabweans. You're like, guys, what have we done again? No, I'm really sorry, guys. But I wanted to remind you that within the political system, we have opportunists. And these people, is all about the cash, not the principle. That's one of the reasons why they're always falling for the wrong stuff. Quick bucks, instant gratification. Mnangagwa has mastered the art of giving sweets, bring you closer. Once he's done using you, there will be a price to pay, your blood. Choose your battles. Wise people need to understand that if we all stop taking bribes, Zimbabwe will work just like that. Trust me. Serving Mnangagwa and perpetuating this suffering, trust me, history will be brutal to you. It will. I want you guys to know that it's also not a crime for Zimbabweans to use online spaces to actually vent, because our country has never appreciated conversations. So you really cannot blame people when they now begin to lash out. It is very normal. Chipodendere said, I hope Linda's death creates room for us to discuss the trauma of being a political detainee. I'm sure men come out of prison frightened and changed. The system is designed to change our hearts and make us cruel like them. It is hard. The healthcare system fails all of us. I pray for a day that Zimbabweans are going to call criminal syndicates as criminal syndicates and start decorating as a system like it's something fancy. These are criminals. Emerson Mnangagwa is a hardcore criminal. All he did was just creating networks. That does his dirty work. While him and his children are benefiting. And the concubines. When are we going to wake up in Zimbabwe? And some people have never seen, but there's something very weird and strange around Emerson. I've been looking at how he uses his hands and so forth. Very weird. So there were two emotional reactions that I actually pulled out, two, but there were many of them. Many people have been accusing Linda of lying, say that they were trained by foreign nationals or they've got arms somewhere to fight against the regime. And I must say this, all these lies are being cooked by ZANU-PF itself. And then he used these guys to push a narrative so that they can hurt innocent people in return. This Cape 3 that you see people being abducted, tortured, some of them being beaten up, phones stolen, who brought it up? Emerson Mnangagwa. The 2020 Shama election, who messed it up? Emerson Mnangagwa. Who brought Shavangu? Emerson Mnangagwa. And then who brought Cape 3? Emerson Mnangagwa. So we need to ask ourselves, good, every time Emerson Mnangagwa throws a dead cat, we all jump fighting each other. What are we expecting? Nothing. Except being played. That's how criminals work. Criminals won't succeed without causing chaos. For your information, all the countries, DRC, Sudan, criminals are behind it. Because when there's chaos, they can milk your natural resources. Those sitting in Dubai, you think Dubai can only be built? No, it's being built by your hard-earned money. That's how it works. When you have leaders who are stupid, you need people with understanding on how to actually capitalize on the gifts that God has blessed them to build a strong and powerful economy. Not what we are witnessing today in Zimbabwe. It's shameful. Jacob Ngarivume was upset, although he eventually apologized. But I want to read what he said. He said, sadly, I have no tears to shed for Linda. We stood with her when she was persecuted by ZANU-PF back then. Miss Ngarivume and I looked after her family when she was in prison. My party Transform Zimbabwe supported her in court. In return, when she was released, she joined ZANU-PF and started lying against many of us in the opposition movement. When we were organizing the anti-corruption protest of 2020, she pushed to meet with me. After I reluctantly agreed, she gave an interview to the Herald, lying through her teeth that I told her that I had received $300,000 from the Americans. She dedicated the last half of her life to selling out. After using her, they discard to the cold dustbin. They've lost a committed liar for their PR, not corruption. That was harsh. That was harsh. I'll tell you where this was harsh is because people don't actually know how criminals operate, do they? This is one of the reasons why I've said, for those who are very smart, should know that for Zimbabwe to be free, we need to get to the bottom of our problem. And the architecture for misery is Emerson Mnangagwa. But he has used a lot of people, played so many over the years. Look how he used the military. What about people that died in ZANU-PF? There are many that died in accidents. Some will just disappear. A lot of evil has been going on in Zimbabwe. Who was behind it? And he comes out openly and tells you that all these structures, I created them. He's a criminal. He captured Mugabe, dragged him into the bush. Imagine a president of a country is being dragged by someone to go, let me show you a sangoma, and lie that this is my family member. That has got a spirit of Nehanda. You get played every time. I remember ministers dragged by a liar, being told that there's diesel that's going to come out of here. There'll be diesel. That's how our country has been reduced to. Guys, if you know that you're not wise, don't be in a leadership position. Because right? For real. He's upset. But like I said, we must always consider family. Because Linda is no longer here. Wherever she is today, it's a different world. It completely forgets about all that you're seeing today. I think I told you last time that people don't know how death works, okay? We are spirits. We are not what you're watching right now, the body, okay? After all is said and done, this body will just go back to soil because it is soil. But the spirit is the most powerful human that we need to pay attention to. That's how a human is the spirit. Many people are being played every day because they kind of look at the person, how the person looks. No. Who is she or who is he? The spirit. So sometimes when I talk to Emerson Mnangagwa, people don't know that I'm not talking to him, I'm talking to the spirit. Because I know it's the spirit that is making Zimbabweans suffer. If you understand that part, this world is brutal. I mentioned South Africa isn't happy about Cape 3. Take a listen.
You have a similar phenomenon on the continent. President Mogai, the late, may he rest in peace, was buried just a few days ago. There was in the election in Zambia at some point, and UNIP, the ruling party led by President Kaunda, lost. And President Chiluba took over as president. First term, second term. Towards the end of the second term, he wanted to change the constitution for the third term. So we conspired among ourselves in the region here and said we don't want to introduce that habit here in this region of these third terms. So we got to stop President Chiluba. Agreed. Now, whom are we going to ask to go and collar President Chiluba? We decided on President Mogai. Said the cleanest among us, and the other one is most honest, he's got all the moral authority to say to President Chiluba, no. And he went and he said, no. And that was the end of the Chiluba operation.
I heard rumors that they actually sent Ramaphosa to Duma Boko so he can speak to Emerson Mnangagwa to no extension. We cannot continue watching what's going down in Zim. I agree with them. I think you and I can. It's time for Mnangagwa to be stopped. We Zimbabweans have the power to do so. Let us not politicking. We actually don't have the luxury to politics, Zimbabweans. When I see people play all this dirty politics, I laugh and I'm like, my sweethearts, we don't have the luxury to do so. We have a country that is burning. Now we need to all to lower our guards. All our egos must just go to rest for now so that we can restart our country. Because if we don't do so, I can guarantee no one is safe. It includes those that have said, I've got all my money in town, I have my house, sweetheart. There will come a time where all that doesn't even matter at all. It won't even matter at all. So please, let us do better as a country. Look at the comment that Mumsmai Mane wrote. The president of Zimbabwe is a thug, surrounded by thugs. When you go meet him, expect to meet a wounded man. When we talk about any meeting with Idi Mnangagwa, remember first and foremost that he was a chairman of the Joint Forces Command and head of the CIO during the Gukurahundi massacre. I keep saying it. Emerson Mnangagwa's mind is a mind of a criminal. It doesn't matter that he is a president of Zimbabwe. That does not change the fact that he is a criminal. Instead of Zimbabweans helping him like we do with all criminals, we want to keep on promoting him, and he's causing so much damage because he doesn't even understand. When we think we need to go right, he believes we need to go left. You need to ask yourself, good, what is the point of killing people? Abductions and torture. As we speak, there are kids in prison. Mazbabe Shanduko. Innocent people. In fact, I heard Walter Muzembe said there's almost 50% people in prison, they've never committed no crime. That will show you that the country is in a mess. So we don't have the luxury to politic. Because I know everyone wants to go to the front, but is it worth it? Time is not on our side. 2 generations lost in poverty. Now we want to pass a baton of this chaos to our children. Brothers and sisters, no matter what happened in Zimbabwe, no matter what happens, it's very clear for us to let ZANU-PF know we do not want to inherit their system. I repeat, no matter what happens after Mnangagwa, we do not want to inherit the system that he created, that so many people enjoyed, benefited from, but at the expense of the peace of our people. No thanks. In fact, I want to remind you that this is the last batch of those who went to war. Okay, I repeat, because where Chiwenga is now and the rest of the people is the last batch of those who went to war. So what do I mean by that? I mean to say, guys, we should never inherit this system. But at the same time, let us be very wise and sober, because there's a possibility that some people can inherit it while we are sleeping. It's very possible if we aren't wise. Can Chiwenga be the Mandela of our time? Comment in the comment section. What's your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Guys, Mandela didn't just wake up and be Mandela. He had to put South Africa first. Mandela, when he came in, number one is that he said everyone who live here is a South African, black or white, including the foreigners were also given IDs. Everybody should live in peace. The brand Mandela builds, that is still speaking generations after him, is what is required in Zimbabwe. So this is a golden opportunity for Chiwenga to shine. It's a golden opportunity for Mr. Constantino Gouveia Nyikadzino Chiwenga to shine. Mnangagwa got in 2017, what did he do? He squandered it. Because I told you, he's a criminal. So he doesn't care whether there's an opportunity or not, he doesn't. But a wise person will say, Jesus, it's my time. I need to show these people. Oh my God, what? Sir, it's your time. The Standard reports that Chiwenga's pressure leaves ZANU-PF in panic. He's smarter than what you can think. People think Chiwenga, no, Be careful of people who are quiet when you're playing them dirty. Be afraid of that person. Be afraid. Did you actually saw Chinamasa? They are desperate. Mnangagwa is desperate. He plays strong outside there, threatening people. Are you looking to start or grow your business in South Africa as a foreign national? Education, research and development consultancy makes it simple and stress-free. From company registration with CIPC to opening your business account, filing your taxes with SARS and handling your annual returns, they got you covered. Local or international, ERDC handles everything so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Ready to get started? Contact or WhatsApp the admin at 0027 73 302 1868. 0027 73 302 1868. You can also email the admin at owen.erdc@gmail.com. owen.erdc@gmail.com. You heard him. Is it necessary? No. But because his mind is built to just threaten, using fear, that's all that he knows, even when it's not necessary. I think I spoke to you about the issue of an article that introduced Chiwenga that was in 2014, the 1st of November 2014. Chiwenga's prospects in leadership. Could Zimbabwe benefit from the military leadership? I want you to tell me what you think in the comment section. It's quite very important. The truth is that without having to hold Chiwenga's hands together, there's a possibility that Zimbabwe will be turned into a kingdom, which I don't even want to stingingly think or imagine. But I said it before. Chiwenga, if he can unite the Zimbabweans and say, no, forget about it. It doesn't matter what you are from ZANU-PF or you once been in ZANU-PF, because Mandela was an ANC member. You could have come and said, I'm Doshi Manyi Sage, ANC for sure, let's go. No. Every South African should be respected. Chiwenga every Zimbabwean. Sir, leaders don't listen to sewage gossip. Leaders don't. I can never forget a story that I want to share with you about Mandela, actually, before I proceed. That immediately after they won independent South Africans, they received a list of people that were being accused of being sellouts within the ANC. And when he received that list, he had no choice to say, can he fire all these people that he have heard that they were sellouts, or he would focus on the freedom that they'd achieved and bring sanity in the country. And Mandela was troubled and he said, give me some time. He took about 3 days, then he came back. He said, guys, I think I've got an answer. If we removed the list of the people that we've received now, we become weaker. What if this list came from our enemies that are trying to divide us? No, I'm not going to do anything about this list. Let's move on. This is what have destroyed the politics in Zim. Sewage gossip, to listen to lies. What everyone says, most of the things that are going down in Zim in politics are lies that are being manufactured by Mnangagwa and his goons. Because the more you're fragmented, the more they continue with their system of stealing, because they're criminals. There's been lies that I work with Kasukwere. I know where they were created, because they saw how much I pushed the Geza revolution. And they knew that if we do this, then this woman will be silenced. I'm 20 steps ahead of you. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm not a politician, y'all. We don't just talk, do we? Absolutely not. And some people believed it. It was being funded. In fact, I heard eventually people were paying money to say, push it, push it. Shame. But even the late Comrade Geza was a wise man. He was a wise man. Very wise. But those who want to listen to gossip, that's why most leadership in Zimbabwe is failing daily, because you listen to stupid gossip. Some people are coming in because they feel threatened by so-and-so, and they come in and they lie. Oh, so-and-so has done this, you believe it. A leader, don't listen to sewage gossip. Focus on the goal, the vision, the country, the people, and the legacy. Mr. Chiwenga, it's your time to shine. Introduce free and fair election peacefully. My children, we are the last batch of the war veterans, and we want to pass a baton of peace in this country. So many things went wrong, and we apologize. But if we can ever leave a gift in this world, it's the gift of a free and fair election. Please continue with respect for each other. Without you coming together, there will never be Zimbabwe. That's wisdom. No. Zimbabwe as a country comes first.
It is disheartening to when you see that what I'm talking about then, so many years ago, in the 60s, some of them are happening even now. You still have people, especially young people, suffer the most, I imagine, and their mothers, and you still have people suffering, and suffering because of politics, because of bad governance. Today, why should, as I experienced it when I was 4 years, why should it be happening now anywhere? Doesn't have to be in this country. Why should it happen anywhere, say on our continent? That we still have refugees, we still have tribal conflicts, we still have all kinds of things, people fighting each other than building themselves and building their countries. For me, it's a lesson learned, a lesson that also shaped some of us until this day. And for the young people here in the room, you don't have to go through that in order to be shaped the right way, as many young people at that time came out to be. So you can learn even lessons of others, things that happened in time, in history, to other people. And also put yourself in that position where you may think, oh, what's supposed to happen to me? Or it can even happen to me. What should I do to prevent that? Or what would I do if I face that? Africa has everything to be where we want to be who we want to be. So we can only blame ourselves for not achieving that. And therefore, to avoid the blame or blaming ourselves, the politics has got to be right. And it has to provide the stability that therefore creates that environment where people can do what they are best at. We have seen it's no longer just the potential. People have been talking about the potential of our continent. No, we've just seen how that potential to an extent has materialized to actually prove that everything is possible. So why not do more of what we've been doing to prove the case and make sure that more and more people benefit from being the best they can be and also benefit from doing the very things that we always talk about. And here I have to say we should also get tired of just saying the right things for so long. We want to see the right things happen.
Let's look at some of the principles that they mentioned, though. I spoke about that article. That is quite very important. I wanted you to pay attention to this. Let's look at that. I'm going to drop the link in the description box so that those people can actually read the entire article. But let's look at this paragraph, where it says, Zimbabwe faces complex political, economic, and social challenges. Some voices are calling for a shift in the country's leadership style, suggesting it may be time to look beyond traditional civilian-led governance. This viewpoint raises the question of whether Zimbabwe might benefit from the disciplined approach often associated with military leadership. Among potential leaders, Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, a retired military general with years of command experience, stands out as a figure. Military principles in modern management. Interestingly, modern management practices up to 80% of some estimates originate from military principles, strategic planning, hierarchical organization, and resource management common in corporate governance, all draw from military practices. Leaders in both the military and corporate sectors face similar challenges, such as coordinating complex systems, managing human resources, and maintaining efficiency. Thus, a leader like Chiwenga could theoretically introduce these tested methods into the public sector, promoting accountability, measurable results in strategic planning, which Zimbabwe urgently needs. However, there are significant differences between managing a military organization and leading a nation. Military institutions emphasize unity and obedience, whereas civil governance requires accommodating a variety of perspectives, stakeholders, and interests. Leaders like Kagame have successfully adapted their military experience into civil governance by incorporating more inclusive, responsive practices. Chiwenga or any other military-trained leader would need to adopt a similar approach, respecting Zimbabwe's democratic structures and the voice of its citizens. That's interesting. I genuinely believe that if you don't understand that without the people you will never be a leader, you can't be a leader. This is where Mnangagwa has made a mistake. Mnangagwa doesn't see himself as a leader. He sees himself as the owner of Zimbabwe. He does not even have a clue of what leadership is. Maybe his children, because I saw one of the daughters say, oh, my father is sweet. To you, my angel. But to Zimbabweans, he's a villain. He's a devil. We see him as a Satanist. I can tell you straight. And I can say it even in his face. I've never seen a man as cruel as Emerson. Hakuna a leader okuti unotora vana. Right now we speak. There are kids from Zinasu who are locked in prison. Hakuna leader kadaro. Dragging kids from university where parents are struggling, saving every dollar to send their sweethearts to school. And a grown man, a grandfather in fact, with children and grandchildren, will send thugs to go drag those kids from university, beat them up, drag them to prison and lock them in. Then you want to convince me that he's a leader. Please, you can convince fools, not me. Emmerson Mnangagwa is a criminal. And I stand by what I believe in. You see, one of the problems that we have done in our country was failing to call things as they are. So we identify villain because he's a president, he's got a title, so we must all just... No, there's nothing to respect. Because if you don't respect yourself, don't expect people to respect you. Bear in mind, we are paying for Emerson Mnangagwa's upkeep. For his meds, his aids, his security, his lifestyle. We're paying for it. But what do we get in return? Abuse, violence, abductions, torture, instilling fear. You can't convince me that it is the characteristic of a leader. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, if our parents were able to confront Smith, what is it that makes us entertaining Emerson Mnangagwa? Is it because he's a black person? Someone said you're afraid of what? Afraid of a person. Mnangagwa is just capitalizing on our fear. Mujan Takrosa, you're like, but why? Well, sometimes I'm sitting, I'm like, what are people afraid of dealing with Mnangagwa? There's nothing to be afraid of. He's just a human like you. Just manipulating you. Speaking the way that he does. Issuing threats. We need to put a stop to it, Zimbabweans. We need leaders. We don't need villains. We're not interested in nonsense. We want leaders. People of character, stature, respect, honor, humility. I can only imagine the day Mnangagwa dies. You think Linda received blows? No, wait until Mnangagwa dies and see what will be happening on social media. I feel pity for Auxilia. If I were in the shoes of Auxilia and the children, I would really actually seek for settlement, in my opinion. Say we apologize for the pain we have caused you, because Zimbabwe is going to be difficult for them to live in, unfortunately. Because that man is fumbled. Big time. Mr. Chiwenga, it's your time to shine. Do good by the people. Don't listen to politicians. Be a leader, a father, a legacy builder. Guys, this is a golden opportunity that Chiwenga as a surname can speak to generations to come, because you honor one thing and you put humanity first. Humanity first. Not a position, not power, not money, humanity first. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. What's your take? May God bless you, and may God bless Zimbabwe. I love you so much. Bye for now.